Next step is to get your film into your camera. Depending on the kind of camera you're using, it's either very easy or a little bit tricky. Easy ones are the automatic Nikons. So what you do here is you press the two buttons together, it pops open, and all you do is you take your film with the nose part, this here, down, you pop it into the slot, you pull the film across to the red dot, you close the body, and you press the shutter one time, and the camera will wind and will say 1 over here, and you're ready to shoot. And now you can take lots of pictures and you're ready to go, and the camera will keep shooting until the film is full. In this case we have 12 pictures on there, or 13. When it gets to the end it beeps, and this camera, to rewind the film, you then have to press the two red buttons that are on top of the camera. You press those two together once, and you can see in the display that it actually rewinds the film back. Only once you've done that and the film is completely rewound do you actually want to open up. So the camera beeps, it's ready to go. Now you can again pinch the sides and the side and pull out your film, and the film will have been wound back into the box. In some cameras the film will stick out slightly, and some it will have rewound completely. That's the easy one. The hard one is if you need to use the Pentax K1000, because it being a manual camera, the film also works manually, so you have to do your winding and your loading and everything else manually. So this camera a little bit trickier. So what you do here, okay, so this camera a little bit harder. So what you do is you take your camera, you take the crank part, you pull up on it all the way, and the camera will pop open. Then you pop it open like this, and then again your film goes same place, nose down into this side here, and you pull it across. And where it gets tricky is that in the mechanism of the camera in here there's a slot on here, and there's a slot here not between the cartridges but right on the slot, and the film has to go, you wiggle it out a little bit, and then it has to go into the slot. So let's get close up so we can really see that. So this film has to go into that slot. So you take it and you slide it into the slot as far as it can go. Push it in, try and get it in. Now, you don't want to turn this by hand, you turn the crank of the camera. And if it doesn't go, you have to press the shutter, and then it will go slightly. Now what you want to do is you want to put your fingers over here. There's little teeth on the spool. You want to put your finger over the teeth and you turn it slightly. And then as you go around, and when it stops cranking again, you take a picture, go around one more time. Once it's gone fully around, the tension of the film will keep it tight, so then you can close the lid, and then you take two photos. One, and if this is down, you should see as the film tightens, you should see this rotate as you wind your film. And once you've taken two and you keep moving, now the counter on the top of the camera will be at 1 and you're ready to take your first photo. In this case, you go through your film just as before, you take all your photos, and the counter will be going up. And once, just as before, the other camera I got about 13 frames, so same thing here. I'm getting towards the end, and you can see it keeps turning. And as I get to the end here, now it's getting hard. I can't go all the way anymore, and it won't take any more photos. I'm at the end of my roll of film. Now to rewind the film on this camera, there's no automatic button. It's very important though. You press the little button at the bottom of the camera. When you hold that button down, then you can turn over this here, and you turn in the direction of the arrow. There's a little arrow on the dial. You just turn it around, and you will actually feel that the little button at the bottom is turning as well. And if it's not pushed in, it can't turn. But you can see it turn. Let me see if you can see it turn, but you have to keep your finger on it. You can feel it turn under your finger. Keep going until you either hear a snap or feel a snap. And once it's snapped and it becomes very easy to turn, you know your film is rewound. You can do a little test. If you go backwards and it resists, then you know your film is in the cartridge. But if it's very easy to turn the other way, you know that there's no more film being pulled in. Then you can pull up all the way again. It'll pop open, and again your film will be all wound into the cartridge, ready for developing.